Hello, we are the three Black Pratt grads. I'm Mark Skinner. I'm here with my friends Greg Cleghorn and Kenneth Nelson. And we are talking about photographic issues. But today we are speaking about something a little bit different. We are talking about what we would be if we hadn't decided to be photographers. Now, this is something that I'm sure uh, everyone thinks about when they are either in the beginning of their career or in the middle of their career, or if they are kind of in a low point in their career, or they're just not sure if they want to continue. But I just thought it'd be interesting to mix it up because we usually do a little bit of show and tell. So this time I wanted to just have a regular conversation. And I'll start with something that I think both you guys know. I probably would have been one of two things. Either I would have gone back into academia, which was a more recent one, and just been a photography teacher rather than try to sort of hustle and make it. And the other thing I would have done would have been a screenwriter, but I didn't really think about that until much later in my career, probably about 35, 40. And from what I understand, in many instances, for screenwriting, for cinema, I don't think that's too late. But as I understood it back then, it was too late for television. So it was just an interesting time. I actually went to the Gotham Writers Workshop. I got a certificate in screenwriting, and that's really it for me. So I wanted to say that, and so this is it. What about you guys?
Yeah, I remember your screenwriting days and those days where you were doing a lot of research and doing a lot of work. So yeah, I remember it's far back, but I definitely remember. I'll jump in and sort of tell you where I'm at. Um, my decision to pursue photography was set back in the time when I was about 12 years old. So my ability to really think about what I would be doing if I weren't doing that is very difficult. It's not that it's impossible, but it's just very difficult because I have to think about the time and at that point in time when I was 12 or 13. And besides being taught photography, I think the only thing I was thinking about doing was fireman, policemen, the same typical things that everybody else does when they were about that age. And of course, in the neighborhood, growing up in Red Hook, Brooklyn, I think there was a sort of a systematic idea that you'd go and work for and do a city job. So had I not, been doing those things, I probably would have gone that route. Um, but I don't know for sure. But that seems to be the most likely thing that I would have done. And what's interesting is that none of those of which I just mentioned are creative endeavors. So it's kind of interesting how I link my creative life to my introduction to photography, and to see where I may not have gone into the creative world had I not gone into the creative world at that point in time. So I think I've just would have probably done a city job and did my 20 and done. So I think that's where I'm at. Greg, what about you?
Oh wow! Well, I wanted to be a musician back in the day. I went to music and art, the sister school to the Performing Arts of Fame School. Um, I finally joined up, and they're just behind Lincoln Center. So, love music. Always loved music. Loved creative arts and theater. Photography was always in there. Um, what would I be doing? And I'm certain I'd probably be doing something in the creative arts anyway. When I was at junior college, I had an internship at Transit in their graphic design department. I almost stayed there, but I don't know. It just wasn't fulfilling. And then I had a bunch of a string of um, uh, personal tragedies, back to back to back. So I kind of want to get out of New York, and I just kind of combined that with photography, since crowd was a big part of my creative folio. And I joined the Navy and saw the world. I got a chance to go around the world. So if I wasn't doing photography, I'm sure I would be doing it in some capacity. You know, maybe not as a vocation, but definitely as an avocation. Um, and still plan on picking up my trumpet again, so going to get back into that once I get my implants completed. uh, but something creative, definitely, most definitely.
Okay. I mean, the reason why I ask is because, a lot of people, they get to a certain point in their career and they go, I should have gone to medical school or I should have gone to law school or they feel like they should have done something completely different. And it doesn't matter what, I'm sorry. Well, it doesn't matter whether it's photography, but it doesn't matter if it's photography or not. People just say, man, I could have done this. Like, I know from when I was a kid, I always wanted to be a cop, and my mother completely disabused me of that because she took me to see Serpico, and she knew kind of like how honest I was. And then she I think she wanted to see the movie, but I think it was also like, you want to be a police officer. This is kind of what you'd be like there. So I think after watching Serpico in the theater as a little boy, I was like, no, I'm not doing that. But other than that, in your adult career, I was wondering, what kind of career moves would you guys do if there were no obstacles and you just sort of wanted to jump into something different? What would it be?
I would have been a pilot. I always wanted to be a pilot. Definitely always wanted to see the world and sunrises and sunsets and stuff from above the ground. That pilot or an astronaut. But it's not. I am instead of what if. I'm not dead yet. I still got things to do, places to go, people to meet. So I'm not crazy about this, but I'll say let me try something else rather than looking back. I want to look forward.
I understand. And it's kind of like rather than looking forward it's sort of like looking, adjacently or laterally. It's like, what would you be or do?
Like a Star Trek episode. What if we were in an alternate universe?
Yeah, exactly. What would you be in an alternate universe? Like, I mean, Ken, I know at some point during our conversations, you said photography. That's it. That's it. I was dedicated to photography all the way through. But I was wondering if, other than sort of the perfunctory, get a civil service job with the city because you got to earn, right? And that's perfectly legit. But in terms of an like a vocation that you would sort of really sink your teeth into, rather than I took the job for money, because everybody has jobs they take for money. But what if would it be like geology, or would it be anthropology, or would it be sociology? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think, well, again, I made my decision creatively early. So if we were basing this question on that, then that's the answer. But if we're basing the question not on when we decided to pursue what we're pursuing, but any point in time between then and now, that's different. So if you're asking me recently what I'd be doing if I weren't doing it, if I, just did it, it would have to be something to do with travel. Now, where and what, I don't know. But I think my love of travel would probably be the key that would be driving what I'd be doing if I weren't doing it. So whether that's being a travel agent, whether that's being what is I'm sorry, airplane.
Is this making you emotional, Ken?
No, I'm just trying to remember the title of the
flight attendant.
The flight attendant. Thank you very much. Yeah. So yeah, anything to do with travel, I'd be doing. That would get me around. So that would be it.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, I mean, that was really all I had to ask for this conversation. If you guys have been watching the videos and you feel that there are better careers for each of us than photography, although we would probably argue, put something in the comments. Let us know. Please hit the subscribe button. Take a look at some of the other videos where we talk about some wonderful stuff like what Leica means to us, abstract photography, and all those other things that are photographic. I think this is it, right, guys?
Yeah. Yep.
Well, I'm Mark Skinner. I'm with Kenneth Nelson and Greg Cleghorn. Greg would be the guy pointing that other way. And I would say, have a great night. And we have been the 3 Black Pratt grads.
We still
We'll
are.
talk to you. Yeah, we have been, and we continue to be. And have a great night, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.